I don't know. I don't even like the conversation around autism, though. It's a really weird one. But I remember one time I was talking to this guy, mid-conversation he calls me autistic. And I was like, yo, that's fucked up. Don't do that. All right, people with autism go through sensory issues, issues with sound, things that make their lives 10 times harder and sometimes impossible. That's an insult you should never use. And he was like, yeah, Trev, I understand that, but I'm not insulting you. I'm your doctor. Yeah, it wasn't an insult, it was a fucking diagnosis. And it sucks because, like, I didn't even get the strain of autism I wanted either. Like, I wish I got that strain you bring to a casino, but it's more of an indigo. I'm a sativa, I just make things uncomfortable. I thought I'd be a savant, instead I fuck up hugs. And it sucks explaining to my family too, because like my dad's family is black, mom's family is Puerto Rican, so like they don't really understand anything about mental health stuff. Like I told my Uncle Dave I had autism, and the first thing he said is, like Rain Man? I was like, no, actually. More like McLovin, I got that one. I don't know, it does lead to some weird shit sometimes though. It does make things awkward. Like, I remember not long ago I was talking to my girlfriend's dad. He was like, hey Trevor, who's your favorite boxer? I was like, Creed? 3? He's like, yeah, good boxer. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Start to realize he might be making shit up too. You know, so me and him are both big basketball fans. One day I asked him, like, hey Bob, you remember that guy from the Knicks, Skippy Williams? And he's like, oh yeah, Skippy Williams, good ball player. Skippy Williams is not a real person. So I guess the point of this bit is that I'm pretty sure my girlfriend's dad also has autism. And you know, they say that girls date guys with traits like their dad. Of all the traits you can pick. Like, you know, protector, provider, and she was like, nope, the motherfucker that ate glue in kindergarten, that's mine. I don't know, I'm also starting to think that my cat's autistic though, you know. She never talks. She just makes sounds and points and shit. She's like, meow! I'm like, yes, Ruby, those are the Legos I organized by shape, size, and color. It makes me think about weird shit sometimes too. Like, you know, I've been thinking a lot recently about this kid that I grew up playing basketball with. I grew up playing basketball with a kid whose real name is Noriega Davis. His mom named him after the rapper Noriega, who happens to be named after the Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega. And I know we're all thinking it, so I'm just going to say it. Dictator last names are incredible black first names. What, like y'all really going to tell me that Mussolini Green ain't a first round draft pick? Alright, Pro Bowl safety, Gaddafi Williams.
Oh my God.
DMV supervisor, Pinochet Jones. Alright, that's so far.
Jesus Christ.
I love that joke. I wish I could do more deep cuts of it, but I feel like I can't though. Just, you know, 2 reasons. Number one, I don't know enough dictator names for that. And the easiest way to get put on a watch list is to go home and Google top 10 dictators. But number two, and this is the most important part, what if I read in some small, obscure communist dictator, find out about all of his policies and realize that I agree with this motherfucker? That'd be terrible. Sit there shining a gun at my laptop like, what about seizing means of production? Things are pretty weird in America recently. I just got back from Florida. I was just doing comedy in Florida recently. And I found out about this new thing they have called MAGA rap. Do you guys know about this? Yeah, no, this is a real thing. It's basically, first of all, let me just say this. When I was in Florida, I realized that somebody needs to burn that place. Like, I did a total of 3 shows, and 2 of them were fine, but for one of them, I was in Daytona Beach, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the home of NASCAR and bath salts isn't a good place. And I find out about this thing, it's a real thing, it's called MAGA rap, alright? It's basically a bunch of white dudes who are putting on MAGA hats, and they're making the most racist songs possible. And I think it's fucking disgusting. It's gross. I don't care that it's racist, they just have no fucking bars. Like, you know who had way better racist rhymes than these MAGA rappers? Dr. Seuss. Say what you want about Seuss, but the man was throwing heaters, alright? The Puerto Rican who can't stop speaking? Classic. 1 fish, 2 fish, can't trust the Irish? Bangs. I fucking love that joke. I wish that Dr. Seuss was alive to get canceled, because I just wish I could hear what his agent would have been on the phone saying to him the whole time. Just like, Seuss, what do you mean the who's control the weather? Talking about some Horton hears them digging tunnels in Brooklyn. What the fuck? I grew up playing baseball. I actually got really good to a point where I got offered a scholarship to a boarding school.
Exactly.
But my mom wouldn't let me take it because she didn't want me to get raised by somebody else. So for years, me and her would go back and forth, and I would be like, bitch, how could you? Up until this one day, like 10 years later, I'm scrolling through the news, and I see an article with a headline that reads, "Priest at Rhode Island boarding school charged with child molestation." So I texted my mom, and I was like, yo, Lisa, good save. And then I saw how much money they paid out to those kids. And I was like, bitch, I'll punch you! You're telling me these kids got finger fucked and $7 million? Dog, all I got was a trip to a private island. I need a new negotiator. Alright, let's get into the Diddy stuff, guys. It's time.
Wow.
Okay, I can get into the Diddy stuff or Diddy can get into you. It's one of the two. Oh, God. Did you guys see the documentary that came out?
Yes.
Dude, how the fuck did he have more evidence than the feds? Like, 50 Cent makes me feel like I need to hate way harder. Because what the fuck do you mean that you've been gathering evidence on somebody for 20 years? But the thing is, everybody, it's weird because, like, white people are just now finding out that Diddy's a creep. Black people knew for years. Like, I remember I was doing this like 2 years ago. I was talking about this, and I asked the crowd, I was doing a black show, I asked the crowd, what's the first time you heard some weird shit about Diddy? And this black lady from the back was like, December 94! I was like, bitch, you the victim? What the fuck? No, I do think that's wild, but like, you do realize that Diddy dropped his first solo album in 97. Do you know how fucking creepy it is? The fact that before you hit the industry, people were like, nah, I know that motherfucker. Alright, I can't close out on that. I gotta close you guys out on something. So I don't know, I like doing comedy's fun. You have some interesting things happen. Like for a while I was staying in New York. I was staying in Queens. Anybody ever been in the Flushing neighborhood before in Queens?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, it's a huge Chinese area. I love it. I was down there, stayed down there like a month, and I remember that one day I was on the train, and this woman looked at me, smiles and waves, and she's like, hey, Wei. And I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful, learning new Chinese words. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I think that's the most beautiful greeting I ever heard. So I walk around all day just going up to people like, hey, Wei, the whole morning. Up until this one Chinese guy stops me and says, just so you know, Heng Wei is for you, not us. And I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I plugged into Google Translate. Turns out I've been walking up to Chinese people all day calling them niggas. And nobody thought to correct me. Which is fucked up, because like, yeah, I'm black, but I also sound like that teacher from the one episode of the Boondocks. No, the shit that fucked me up though was that I ended up, after this whole thing happened, figured out what it meant, I started writing this joke. And I took it to go and do it at a show, just trying to work it out. And the comic who came up after me on that show is a white guy who turns out speaks fluent Mandarin. So he goes up and the first thing he says is like, yes, Trevor's right, Heng Wei does mean the N-word, but Heng Wei also means black ghost. Proceeds to say it like 18 times throughout his set. I was like, holy fuck, this guy's giving Kramer a run for his money. But I felt like I didn't know if I can get mad or not, because Heng Wei doesn't have the same sting as the regular thing, so I guess like, my question is, how many Heng Weis equates to one nigga, like at what point can I start punching white people and they're like, alright, this makes sense. Alright, that's my time. Thank you so much. Follow me on Instagram at SpaceX. Have a good night.
Trevor Gerald, everybody. Alright, are you guys ready for your headliner for the evening?